Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Alisha Loren. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. Today I am going to be doing a first impressions of a new concealer for you. I have the Iman Luxury Concealing Foundation. This has been in stores for a little while recently. It's really bright in here. And I have this in the color Clay 1. I have another foundation from this brand that I will be trying for you soon, but I wanted to do it as a first impressions and then also do come back and give you guys an update to kind of tell you what I felt about it, because I feel like it's more realistic when I just put it on and see what happens, because sometimes it's bad or weird. And so I'm going to take it out of the package, still sealed, and we'll get right into the foundation application. If I can get the sticker off, which I probably can't. I'm sure I need like some weapon of mass destruction to get this open. Okay, got it open. So first impression, this looks pretty light. Now the reason that I have the Clay 1 is because initially I got the Clay 2 and I opened it up and I just swatched it on the back of my hand once I got it home and out of the lights at the drugstore, and it oxidized pretty severely to the extent that I knew it would be too dark on me. So I went back and I got the Clay 1 because I thought that would be better. So we'll see how this works. And on my skin right now, I have my normal morning skincare, and I also have my e.l.f. Mineral Primer, which surprisingly, though it's $6, is the best primer for filling my pores. I've been trying like every expensive primer on the face of the earth, and then I got this out of my makeup drawer and I'm like, why in the hell was I using all that other stuff? Because I forgot how good this works. So I'm gonna zoom in and we're gonna try the foundation. I'm going to use a beauty blender on one side of my face, and then on the other side of my face I'm going to use a makeup brush, just because sometimes using one or the other gives you a little bit of a better application, so I can see which one works better. You get a half a fluid ounce of foundation in here, and the foundation was $12.99. I did get this while it was on sale in Walgreens. That's usually the only place that I can find the Iman foundation line, or the cosmetic line. That's the only place that I can find it. I got it when they had a buy two get one free sale. So I was able to get the stick concealer, which I will be trying for you guys as well. And so I was really able to get this free, but it's $12.99 for a half a fluid ounce. Most foundations usually get a whole ounce. And so for the price point, I kind of don't know where she wants to be. I feel like she's in between drugstore and other brands, but she's making it accessible at the drugstore. So the price point is kind of in between that and department store or a luxury brand. So I'm just gonna pump this out onto the back of my hand, and it definitely pumps out darker on my hand than it looks in the bottle, because in this bottle it looks really, really light, and it looks a little bit darker on camera, but it looks almost, and it's a little bit separated, so I'm just shaking it up. That's a little bit better. I probably didn't even need a whole pump, maybe a half a pump. I like to start lightly because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm going to, I can't decide if I want to dot this on my face directly or if I wanted to put it on my beauty blender. So I'm gonna put it on my face. So I probably definitely didn't need a whole pump. And my beauty blender is damp, and it's not the Beauty Blender brand. I'm using a Real Technique sponge because that's what I like, and I'm not spending $20 on a sponge that I'm probably gonna get rid of in 3 weeks. Can't be bothered. This is reading out a little bit red on me. I have more of a yellow undertone, and And even though it looks very, very pale in the bottle, I'm surprised that it's still coming up with the redness in the base. Which, if I had a tan, may not be that bad, but I don't. It's only April. I don't have a tan. So with the Beauty Blender, I would say that that blends out just fine. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's right in between. For comparison, the Milani Conceal and Perfect is much thicker, and Minar's All Day Luminous is much thinner. So it's right in between those two. So this is like staying put on my hand. It's not like sliding around or anything, but it's not gloopy at all. For this being Luxury Concealing Foundation, it's not concealing any of the dark marks that I have. You can see I have my hyperpigmentation from acne down here on my chin, and none of that is covered, and here on my cheek. So I don't know about being concealing, but let's see what happens if I just go in with the extra that's on my hand and see if we can build that up. So I'm just very lightly pressing that over the areas where I want a little bit more coverage. Just to see. Let me move you guys down a little bit. I wouldn't say that that's covering, but that's with the Beauty Blender. So let's try on the other side. I'm gonna use my Real Techniques buffing brush. I don't want to use a kabuki brush because I feel like it's so stiff that it would move the product around a little bit too much, and I want to see how much it covers. So I'm gonna go ahead with another full pump of the product. And I can tell, like, if I'm using a full pump of this product because I have to use more to conceal areas and go back over with another layer, a ½ ounce of foundation, I'm gonna be through this so quickly, it's gonna piss me off. So this time I'm just gonna dot this onto the brush and just work it onto the skin. Just gonna pat it all over and work that in. So of course I'm getting more coverage with my brush than I was getting with my Beauty Blender. That's typical. My brush is a little bit damp though because I just washed it, but not very. I think I like the application better on this side. I feel like it's applying a little bit smoother, just slightly. It's definitely going on faster. My brush kind of covers a little bit more surface area. I'm gonna see if I can cover up those blemishes if I use my brush on this side. Yeah, I can definitely cover up the blemishes better if I use my brush. So I would say for this foundation, the application is going to come out better with a brush. It still is looking red to me. It's definitely luminous. I would say that this probably was definitely the right color choice. If I would have gone with the clay too, it would have been too dark, even with the, especially with the redness. So the way that I would correct this is I would make sure that I'm using a yellow based powder to even that out. So I think I'm not going to do too much more to that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead with my concealer under my eyes, which is my MAC Pro Longwear in NC42. And so far, I would say that this foundation is very luminous, which I'm okay with. I don't know, you guys, I've really been into a more luminous foundation lately. I'm gonna just take this out with my sponge. I'm not really into too much baking because I don't really want to look very, very dry. It accentuates fine lines and creases, and I don't like the way that it looks. It kind of ages the skin. I'm not 20, and so it's not really the look that I'm going for. I don't want to be completely matte. So I'm gonna do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts on my first impression of the foundation. I actually think that I like the way that it looks now that everything is finished. What I did to neutralize some of the redness in the foundation was I applied a yellow based powder. It's just very slightly yellow. I used my Maybelline, this is my Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder, and I have it in medium. I really like this powder. It's probably like $5 at your local drugstore, but I just dusted that lightly over my face. I'm, again, not really into the baking thing because it kind of takes away all the luminosity from the foundations that I use. So I like to have a little bit of sheen to it because I don't want to look, you know, like I'm dead. So that being said, doing that took away some of the redness, and I think that I like the way that it sits. I did not want to color correct when I put this on because I wanted to be able to see how the foundation did by itself without doing all of that, because it's claiming to be a concealing foundation, and there's lots of those on the market now, and all of them don't actually do that. So as you can see, you can still see a little bit of the darkness, the dark marks that I have from hyperpigmentation, even after putting on a couple more coats of the foundation in the areas where I had the hyperpigmentation, and then after powdering and finishing everything. But it's not horrible. So in the future, would I color correct and maybe put some concealer on? Yes, I would. So if you wanted to do something that's a one step, I probably would choose another foundation. The Becca concealing foundation will probably be much better because, I mean, that covers everything. The Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation actually does do a good job of concealing everything in just one step. So I would say that I like that better for that purpose. I will probably do a couple pictures and check-ins later on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's Alisha Loren CC, and I will put that in the video so that you can follow me. I'll put up some pictures to kind of let you guys know how this went through the rest of the evening before I take it off. It's 1:49 p.m. so it's you know, early afternoon. I'm gonna keep this on all day with the rest of my face and let you know how it did, and I will try and wear this a few more times during the week to kind of give you guys a real idea of how the foundation works. Wearing it one time for a day is not really a good judge of how much I really like something. It's whether or not I want to wear it again. I want to take some photographs in it to see if I get any flashback or anything like that, because I know my powder doesn't give me flashback, so we'll see what happens with the foundation when I take a few pictures. But just looking at the way that my makeup looks, I really, really like the way that the foundation looks just on the skin by itself. So I got on. So far so good. I wouldn't give this a no at all. I would say Make sure that you keep your receipt wherever you buy it from, because it may be a little bit hard picking your color. Whatever color you think you are, you may be one shade lighter, because when I got my color, it does oxidize slightly, and so I needed to get a lighter shade. So that would be the only warning that I would give about it. I don't know if everyone has had that problem with it oxidizing, but I did, and once I got a lighter shade, it was absolutely perfect, so I had no complaints about that. So also stay tuned for the review of the foundation sticks, which I'm really excited about. I have worn it once. I will go ahead and do that probably before the week is over, so that you guys can get a general idea. I freaking love this lip color. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip palette, and I'm definitely not gonna take this off. But thanks so much for watching, and again, check out my Instagram for the reviews of the foundation as it wore throughout the day, and thanks so much for watching.